Greetings to you all. My name is Tyra Olafemi Hargrove. I am a mom. That's just, yeah, I'm not a super duper expert or anything. But I do like to share wisdom to help new moms. I saw a post by a friend who is having issues with helping her child learn how to use the potty. So I said I'd make a video because I explained this so much that, man, I just make the video and I can share it this way easily next time. Okay, so I've done it two ways, and for this particular situation that I saw, the child is a little bit older, 2, 3, something like that. And so I just like to tell parents that the number one thing to do is to relax, because when the child learns how to potty, you're not going to care. I mean, no one cares when the child is using the potty. It's a really big deal when the child is not using the potty, especially as they get older. And I sort of used to hate it when people would tell me, oh, don't worry about it. He's going to learn how to use the potty. Don't worry about it, mama. He's going to learn. That used to tick me off, because I was thinking, what? I just don't believe he's just going to magically get up and go use that potty. So I worked at it. I started when my son was, well, the first time I tried with my older son, he was maybe around 1. I had no patience. I was horrible and mean. And so I said, no, I have to stop this, because my thing always is, if I'm being mean about it, then something's not right. I should not have to be mean to my children when it comes to things that are just sort of like natural. They're just being kids and all that kind of good stuff. So I stopped. And then when he was 2, I was pregnant with my second son. And so I thought, oh, we really got to get this thing going on, because, I mean, he was looking real big to me at the time, even though now a 2-year-old looks like a baby. For real. But at the time, he was just looking so big. And I was like, and then, of course, everybody else's child is using the potty, so I'm feeling the pressure. So what I started doing was I would take him to the potty, on cue, like every hour or whatever. Oh, he started getting mad. He did not like that. And so then I said, okay, I put out the potty. I took off his diaper or whatever he was wearing, little pull-ups. And when we were at home, I said, look, here's your potty chair. And I put it on top of a plastic bag. And I think I put something cushiony underneath the actual potty, maybe to give it a little more support. But I put the trash bag on the floor because I didn't want the carpets to be getting a whole bunch of pee in them, maybe stink up the house, whatever. And it really was to keep me peaceful. I mean, honestly, that's why I did it. Because I want to say this. After a while, when you have your first child, it's so much tension, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what kind of kid you're going to get. You might get an easy one. You may get one that's a little challenging. You don't know what you're going to get. So the first time around is so much more stressful. Whereas once you go through it, you're like, oh, hindsight 2020. Everything's okay. So like pee getting on the floor with my second son wasn't a big deal. I just didn't care. I just knew, put some water down immediately, because the water would dissipate the pee, and put something in it that would keep it from stinking. I mean, the second time around I was just like, whatever. It's so much pee to hit the floor, whatever. I just didn't care, because I knew it was part of the process. I was so much more relaxed. It's very challenging to get the first timers to be relaxed. I was not relaxed as a first timer. But if you can hear my words and relax and trust me, because I've done this twice. The first time, not relaxed. The second time, relax. It's so much better if you go relax and trust the process. If your child really has some type of special needs issue that's going to prevent him or her from using the potty, you're going to know that in advance. Otherwise, if your child is, good, no special needs in that way, whatever, then I wish I could just transfer the energy of trust the process to you. Okay, so for whatever reason, that worked. He's running around, no bottoms on, and it helped me to realize there's Dr. Sears, Bill Sears, William Sears. I read about how to help a child learn how to use the toilet from Dr. Sears, and he talked about how it is it involves a skill set. It involves a skill set. So you'll see the kid has to learn how to back up, actually sit down. For boys, they got extra equipment down there, so they got to make sure that equipment is pointing into the potty. It's a skill set. The boys, when they're standing up, peeing into the potty is a skill set. It's a learning process. It doesn't just happen. This is the other thing I learned from my second child. These children have been wearing diapers, pull-ups for so long. It is not gonna happen for some kids overnight. Now, some kids overnight, because they're older, like the 3-year-olds, it might happen overnight. I mean, the 4, it might happen overnight because their brains really are more mature. But it's a process. However many years it took that child was in the diaper, it's going to be a little bit of time before they come out. Because it's a shift that has to happen in their brain. Okay, so skill set. And excuse me from jumping around, but Dr. Sears helped me to understand there was a skill set. So I had to watch my son learn how to sit down, use the potty, and all that kind of good stuff, without having to pull his pants down, because that's another part of the skill set. The kids have to learn how to pull their own pants down in time enough to back up, sit down, or walk up, if it's a boy, and figure out how to point into that water. Put some Cheerios. People said they put Cheerios. I never use Cheerios, but you can use Cheerios, they say, and tell them to shoot for the Cheerios. Okay, so I still was getting frustrated because it seemed like we were making some progress, but I still would put a pull-up on him when we went out in public or cloth diaper or whatever. And he was pretty close to 3. And it was like this, we were almost there, but we weren't quite there. I couldn't quite figure out how to get us over the hurdle. And one of my mamas, the older woman that I looked to, said, look, he's smart. What you do is you take all diapers away. Don't use any more pull-ups. Don't use training pants. Nothing. You take them all away. Put them away. You put them in big boy underwear. And you tell them you're wearing big boy underwear now. If you pee in them, you're going to get wet. Okay? Instead of peeing in the big boy underwear, go use the bathroom. Let's go use the potty. Now, I had to put myself in a place of heightened awareness. So if I see he's rushing to get to the potty, if he needs my help, I can help him. I'm his assistant. That's what I learned. I'm assisting him. For whatever reason, that worked. I said exactly what she told me. You're going to be wet. Okay, thank you. That's my younger son calling me. You're going to get wet if you pee in your pants, if you don't want to be wet. And I did emphasize, look, you're a big boy now. So you're wearing big boy underwear. Big boys use the potty. It just worked. That was my son. I have a friend. I wrote an article, which I'll include a link to. But I wrote an article on how to help your child learn how to use the potty. And she just, the number one thing is take them all out. You get rid of your crutch, the diaper. Get rid of it. And if the child pees and poops in the underwear, it's no biggie. It's no biggie. It's no worries. That's what I learned with my second one. They're gonna pee and poop in the diaper. In their underwear, and guess what? It feels nasty. And so she said it happened in a day for her. But her son was a little bit older, if I remember correctly. He was more like my son. So if the child is between 1 and 2, it may not be this quick. If the child's between 2 and 3, 3 and 4, it may happen a little more quickly because their brain is more developed and can comprehend. And they want to be bigger. They like it. Now, we'll say Pooping in the potty for some kids is the last frontier. I never could figure out, why are some kids afraid to poop in the potty? But they literally are afraid to poop. Like I said, they're so used to pooping in that diaper, they feel that poop all on that booty and everything, and it's just their world that we created. And I'm not dogging us. We do what the world tells us to do, and we are good parents, okay? But sometimes what we do creates a situation that will require us to make some changes, to remove some things, change some things, but especially have a lot of patience to change what was started. It's just life as a parent. You know, after a while you'll realize whatever. And so for some kids that's the last frontier, and you just have to be patient and wait for them to learn that when they poop in the potty, it's not evil, it's not scary, and they get over it, and then they always poop in the potty, and you go on and on forever and ever, never to talk about it again until a friend says, I'm having problems with my child learning how to use the potty. So the lessons for my second son, he's very sensitive. His skin breaks out easily, and I was determined to use more cloth diapers this time around, but the cloth diapers were not working. He just was too sensitive to the laundry detergent or something. It didn't matter what we used. This kid is super allergic. And you know what, now that I think about it, he's allergic to coconut, and coconut is in a lot of soaps. It didn't matter what kind of soap we used. This kid was going to break out with these cloth diapers, and it was a nasty rash. So I was like, I want to save the environment, but that's not how I'm going to do it. So I put him in the cloth diapers, the disposables, with the intent to figure out how to get out of the disposable diapers. I really didn't want to use them. And so I saw something about elimination communication, infant potty training, and realized my son was under 6 months. And so when they're under 6 months, they still have the ability to cue you when they need to use the potty. I'm going to make a whole separate video on this, but the lessons that I learned from this that apply to people who are doing what we call traditional helping a child learn how to use the potty, because I don't like calling it potty training for some reason. I like saying I am assisting my child with learning how to use the potty. Is number one, taking the kids out of, or the children out of the diapers is important, in that the diapers are really a crutch for the parent. It is, and I know I've said this, but I really feel moved to say it again, it is not a big deal if your child pees and poops in their underwear. They're going to pee and poop in the diaper. It's no different. If you can really just be okay with it, if it touches you, all that kind of good stuff, it's just like after you get over that hump, it'll never happen again. And, you know, it's messy, nasty, all that kind of good stuff, but it's not that big of a difference from a diaper. I mean, yeah, the disposable. Now, I don't know how it is with cloth. Maybe kids with the cloth diapers do come out a little more quickly, for the same reason that going into the underwear, not using training anything, letting the child get soaked and totally nasty from the poop, is because it is so uncomfortable. No one wants to be walking around wet like that. So when they pee and they poop, it's like, oh, wait a minute. You remember you were supposed to use the potty. We want that pee, and you can turn it into a game. We want that pee and that poop to go into the potty. Yeah. Ooh, we don't want it on us. And you change them right away so they get very used to being dry. We don't want them to be used to being wet. Don't let them walk around in the wet clothes. Take as many panties and underwear and changes of pants and shorts as you need with you. Get a plastic bag to wrap up anything that's wet. Because when you EC, you're going to take a baby out and about, and they're going to have an underwear, a little infant, maybe a cloth diaper. They're going to make it wet. As soon as it's wet, you change it. We never want them to get used to being wet. And so you just, as an ECer, you just get used to, okay, I got to change them. I mean, it's like no biggie. And you just have clothes with you and all that kind of good stuff. The amount of time you spend there will probably not be that long, but it is something you'll have to kind of get yourself used to. If your child is in child care, you will have to put your foot down with them. Put underwear and pants on my kid. Do not put no diapers on for y'all's convenience. I'm trying to get this kid to use the potty. As much as you can at home, if you have problems there, if you have to do training underwear, I would not do diapers. No disposable, nothing at all. If they insist that the child have something on that will, so that it doesn't leak through the clothes, then it needs to be a pair of training underwear, because those are a little bit thicker, and so it doesn't just like go all onto the floor and make more work for them to clean up. But it's not going to be that long, and if you cherish it, you will never come back down this road again. You know, if you do, something's wrong. If for a child that's just going to grow up and be normal, you're not going to come back here again. So try to appreciate where your child is in his or her growth and development. And we're going to dance. Yay! Ooh, we don't want to be wet. No, we don't want to poop in our pants. Want to put it in the potty and see it go down and down the drain. Ooh, it stinks. We don't want that stink on us. We want that stink to go down the drain. Oh, you did it. You did it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ho, ho, ho. You know? But the key is underwear. Underwear. Don't you buy another. When my baby, who I EC'd, he went through what we call a potty break. I mean, it's a normal thing that happens for children that start using the potty when they're infants. They'll go through a break. It usually occurs maybe around 19 months. No, maybe 15 months. Something like that. It's been so long. Where they just peeing and pooping everywhere. I'm like cleaning up everything. And finally, when he was 19 months old, I was like, you know what, bruh? I'm done. I'm done. Because I had started sort of getting attached to these diapers when we were out in public, because I was just getting worn out. Because he's young, you know, he's youngish. And so I said, I'm not putting another diaper of any sort on him. I took all of my cloth diapers, boxed them up, put them away. I took every disposable diaper I had and gave it to, you know, friends that I knew were using them. And we were just in underwear for about a month. Oh, I was changing his clothes all the time. He was, like I said, about 19 months old. By the time he was 20 months old, we had pretty much brought it together. So it was a little bit, it was a month for me putting my child in underwear when he was 19 months old. By 20, he was done. He was in underwear, you know. And we had some accidents after that, don't get me wrong. But we've been there ever since, 20 months. The second one, he was older. The day I put him in the big boy underwear and said, you're a big boy. This is so exciting. You are such a big boy. Look at this underwear. Only big boys get to wear this underwear. And guess what? You pee and you poop in the potty. So whenever you need to go, we don't want that to hit your big boy underwear. And then and other people talk about, you know, you buy a certain kind, like with little animated characters on them or whatever. We don't want to wet our friends. We don't want to get that poop on our friends. You talk to kids like that, have a good time with it. You know, my older one, he went just like that. You know, it may take some time. It may happen like that. But I just say appreciate it. I hope that this helps someone. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section of this video. You can also email me at goddessbms, goddess B as in boy, M as in Mary, S as in Sam, at yahoo.com, and ask me whatever questions you have, because I do like helping parents feel successful and be champions. I like it to be what Dr. Sears taught me, a win-win situation for both parent and child. All right, you take care, and happy times helping your child learn how to use the potty. Remember, have fun with it, because they're our babies and they're going to grow up and get away from us one day. My younger one is 11 and my older one is 13, almost 14 years old. And I look back on those days now and I cherish them with all my heart. I cherish these days with all my heart, because I don't know when I'm going to pass on to the next life. I don't know if one of them will pass on before me. And so I try to appreciate and have a good time wherever we are. It's not always perfect, but that's my view. I lost my mom when I was 27, and it helped me to realize just how sacred and wonderful the parental-child relationship is, and that once it's disrupted with death, it is, I can't even explain how. I don't want to say it's wounding, but I've never been the same. And so it's made me take the approach to parenting that whatever happens, I've got to be in a place of appreciation with my children. It has been a learning process for me. And helping my first son learn how to use the potty was a great first step in learning how to have fun at something that's not typically not fun. When your child goes to school, it'll be the same thing. What if your child struggles with math or reading? Forget what the world says. The only thing that matters is, baby, I got all the time in the world to help you get it. I don't care what the other people's timetables are. I'm on your timetable, because I know you'll get it one day. I don't know what day it is, but until that day, I'm going to hold your hand until your brain wakes up to get there, until your desire, until you feel inspired, and all of that just wakes up, and you'll just run to it. You'll learn. A lot of times it's just waiting, and when that child feels inspired, that child will run without you. That child will learn to read without you. So our goal is to protect our children sometimes from the world's timelines. And I know some of these children are in school. They're, in daycares or whatever, and it's certain things that have to happen by a certain time, or else it's going to put a delay on our child. But we can still, in helping our children keep up with these deadlines that may be very important and crucial for us to make, we can still be very relaxed and happy and enjoy the moment, because one day we're here and the next day we are gone. I've seen it too many times. So just do your best to heal yourself from any trauma that may have happened to you that may be creating extra stress and tension as you assist your child with learning how to use the potty. Make learning how to use the potty fun. I knew when my children maybe were being a little resistant. I'm not saying that I was like this great flowery mother. I'm far from that. Because sometimes I'm like, baby, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go use the potty right now, because I got a trip to make and I know you need to go because I saw you drink something an hour ago. We're going to go and use this potty. Yeah, I do that. Okay? But it's sort of like I do it and I just let it go. You just have to put your foot down with them and then you just move on. It's not going to be all flowers and rosy, but we can just be way more relaxed in our approach. Okay, I'm seriously done with it, and I hope this has helped you today. Peace and love.